Hello, I'm Sean Hoddy and this is another edition of Lockdown Aikido. So today we're going to start the Shichihon no Kuzushi section. Over the last few months we've been doing the various kata of the Tamiki Aikido system. So we've done Randori no Kata, Urawaza, Korodai Ich, Korodai Ni, Korodai San, and now we're on to the Daiyon. Hopefully we will be back into our dojos before we reach the Korodai Roku. But hey ho, that's where we're at the moment. So first movement is Jodan. So Jodan is high, and it's Jodan Igami. So Jodan Igami grip is Uki is taking my wrist with their right hand. So as they take, if we just do this little turn, it just draws them off. And what I don't want to see is people holding their arms out like so, or in our dojo. So as they take, little turn, using your hips. This just draws them off, and draws them back into the Jodan position. Again, if you look, this is into my centre line. So with this technique, obviously we will be dropping to our left knee. I'm very limited to space, so I can't get the long pull that we need because I'm going to end up on my couch. So please bear with me on this movement. So I'll try and do it from here, and if you can imagine, it's a lot longer movement. So from here as they take, I'm breaking the balance. And I'll keep that movement going, so I'm keeping that movement going all the time. And then from here, as I drop, I'm not just kneeling straight down, I'm dropping and I'm keeping that pull on as I drop. So it's this sort of movement, if you think about it, it's similar to that type of movement. I'm actually continuing that pull. So from here, balance is going, so we've got them drop and then we drop away. So if we go to this action, or this angle, so from here, as they grasp, up. What I'll do, I'll turn now, so keep that momentum going, and we drop away. Triangular shape with the legs, on the toes, so we're nicely balanced. Okay, now we're going to move on to Jodan Gaiku. So Jodan Gaiku is Uki holding my right wrist with their left, so it's opposite. So from here this time, I turn this way slightly. So just turn the hips, then this comes up. Right foot is in front. This is coming up into the air. So, easy way, if you think you're going to, as you turn this up, think of it as though you're going to pour something on your head. So if you've got a glass, I haven't got a glass here, if you've got a glass of beer, it's being poured on your head. So 1, 2, yeah. Drinking the beer. That means your elbows are not out here. So 1, 2, and then from here, the right leg comes back, and then we drop away, keeping that momentum going. So if I do it from here, so 1, 2, and then we drop away, breaking the balance. If we go in a circular fashion, so from here, 1, 2, drop. Again, triangular, so we're nicely balanced. for those two again. So first one from here, drop away, nice and balanced. And the second one up, drop away, nicely balanced. Now we go to middle level, which is Chudan. So Chudan Igami. So right to right. We need to get these elbows going down as we move, and we move at a slight angle. So from here, I'm moving at this angle here. Elbows are in. So I'm just coming slightly shoulder to shoulder really here. As I hip turn, that allows me then to extend them to apply the waza. So from this angle, I move off at an angle. I can't go straight through them, so I move off at an angle. From here, elbows are in, Katatara position, hip turn, Katatara, Katatara, Katatara. At this point, I'm starting to stretch. There, here. At this point, I start to stretch and throw. So from here, we step one, hip, drive. And we finish in good posture. And you can actually use your knees. So from here to stretch, you can use your knees to push, and then we go. So it's about keeping them stretched as though they're on a piece of elastic. So we're moving and we are stretching through. So from this angle, very important as they grasp, out, elbows down, Katatara. If you start to try and push with your shoulders, it doesn't work. We've got to use our hips. So down, hip turn, throw. So now we're going to do Chudan Gyaku. So this time it's a reverse grip. So my right, their left. So this time I move out at that angle. So as they grasp, I turn my hand. Not bent, I'm turning and going into Katatara position. Heel of hand on their wrist, pushing away. So as they grasp, one. Now, some dojos do it as I do with a pivot, some do it with a hip turn. Doesn't matter, as long as you're applying the principle. So if you do it with a hip turn, the principle is the same. This is still a Katatara position. Or with a hip turn, steering, Katatara. With a pivot, still Katatara. So hip turn, keeping centre, keeping centre, keeping centre, keeping centre, push. Pivot, keeping centre, keeping centre. And that's the important part. The principle is exactly the same, whatever way you do this. So there's not a right or a wrong way. But once you start letting your arm go like that, you're using your shoulder, and you're not going to move a human being with your shoulder. It's got to be your hips. The other way, it's got to be your hips. It's all your centre line. So now we go to a Geidan technique. So Geidan low, below belt level. So Geidan Igami, right to right. So it's important, as they grasp, we're not bringing our arms out here and trying to pull them back. They'll be grasping here. We step. So that's important, we step. I'm not trying to grip anything either. I'm just stepping forward, bringing this to my centre line. as this comes to my centre line, I then take them to their weak point, which is in front of their big toe and slightly off. So I'm not trying to pull them through where they're strong on that front leg. So we're here. Dropping, throwing. So that is very important. It's moving in to uki, not trying to just pull uki onto me, because if they're planted, that's not going to happen. We need to be able to apply Kuzushi. And the way we do this, as I said, we step into them. And use your movement to break their balance. And then we throw. So very important, as we go forward, we move into them. This hand, if you look, this hand, as I turn, it comes into my centre, right in front of my belt lock. And then from here, as I drop my weight, centre, throw. So it's about using your knees, using your opponent's weak line. So Geidan Gaiku, exactly the same principle. So as they take, I need to move in. I'm not trying to force from here, because you're never going to do that. I need to get into them, and then from here I can do the technique. So, schools of thought, if you think about it, when we go in, we're turning, you could be scooping sand, you could be scooping sand, or another way of thinking of it is, as we go in, to here, drop your weight and throw a bowling ball. Throw a bowling ball. And of course, once you've destroyed their balance, so we're moving, you've destroyed their balance, and then we're coming up to the nagi. We're walking behind them, and they're falling backwards. So from here, I need to step forward. Yeah, so they're grasping, step forward, hip turn, throw away. As I said, if you try and force this, it's not going to happen. We have to get into our uki. Throw. The last technique of this set is Ryoti Mochi, so it's a two-handed grip, so Yushiro Ryoti Mochi. So from here, they're grasping my right wrist with their right hand. They're coming round to grasp my left wrist with their left hand. So if my body's there, what they're doing, they're coming round to grasp. So reaching round. If you look, by reaching round, what happens is their balance starts to go. So we take advantage of that. We leave this hand close to our hip. The other hand, as they come in, comes up to the centre line, toeing in with our left foot, so a bit like our Tanda Kundu movement, our last section. This comes into a Katatara, coming up quite high. The elbow, if you look, the elbow comes under their armpit. At that point, I throw away. So it's a rotational type throw, like a Kaitanagi rotational type throw. So what they're doing, they're actually coming off and rotating because you're putting pressure on this arm and they're rotating into a break form. So from here, turn and we throw. Turn and throw. Turn and throw. Yeah, so it's a circular action. So if you think of a tandokundu, this throw is exactly the same. We're hip turning, we're not stepping back, we're just hip turning and throwing. From there, as I turn in, hip turn. Remember, this hand is planted, so as we move this, that's pulling them on. So a little recap of the techniques. So first technique, Jodan Agami, so we're here. Yes, remember this action. Long arms, breaking the balance, dropping away onto the left leg, either circular or linear, doesn't really matter. As long as you keep drawing them on. You must be drawing them on. Draw, draw. Jodan Daiku. So from here, draw and draw. And then step, and we go back on the right knee. And again, it's keeping them going. Yeah, so keeping that going, then drop. Keeping that action going. Dot the arms out here, as though you're pouring a glass of water over your head, basically. Then we're stepping back onto the right knee. Now in the middle, Chudan. So Chudan Agami, right to right. So we're stepping at this angle. This angle, hip turn, throw. Hip turn, throw. Go from here so you can see the straight line. So I'm turning out, keeping Katatara, throw. Chudan Daiku, stepping out, hip turn, heel of hand, pushing. So from here, one, hip turn. So again, the common theme is Katatara with all of these techniques. So if we're moving, I'm here, my arm is in the same position all the way through. I'm not trying to force it with shoulders. It won't work. There. Oops. Geidan. So Geidan Agami. So from here, as they grasp, we step in. Hip turn, dropping the weight and throwing. So from this side, as they grasp, I need to step in, centre line here, so around my belt level, dropping this down, so not forcing with my elbows, straight arm, dropping my weight, throwing. Geidan Gaiku, so from here, again, as I grasp, I need to move forward to become in my centre line. I cannot be forcing this. So I need to go forward, dropping my weight, scooping or bowling the ball to there. And then that one. So from here, move forward into them, and we throw. Last technique, grasping with the right hand, walking around the back, so Yushiro Waza. So Ryoto Mochi, two-handed grip. So from here, as I grasp, I step, hip turn, throw. What this is doing, this is coming under the elbow, or under the armpit. My elbow is going under their armpit. So from here, step in, throw in. This angle here, moving, throw in. So a little bit of speed, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 techniques. Okay, that concludes my class for today. Thank you.